हेलो गाइस, वेलकम टू द भट्ट शो। आजकल हमारे OTT पे बहुत सारे शोज और मूवीज आते रहते हैं एंड इट्स बीन अ वाइल सिंस समथिंग हैज रियली स्टूड आउट एंड स्पेशली सिंस आई एम एन एक्टर आई वाज सुपर डुपर impressed to see such a strong layered performance in one of the shows that really kept everybody on their edge of the seats, Kala Pani. And today I'm talking to Sukant Goyal, who stole the show with his stellar acting performance. Well, with his acting chops, he's not just stealing scenes but also stealing hearts. Sukant is a total combination of dhamal and drama. So, well, let's not wait anymore and talk to the man himself, Sukant Goyal.
So many stories start with this line, no? मुझे theatre करना है. So that was a beautiful time. It was a beautiful time of no money, no success, none of these measures that, you know, that define you in your own head as, okay, now I'm an actor.
तो आपने नाम लिया अभी सत्यदेव दुबे का, या शुड आई से पंडित सत्यदेव दुबे.
And she comes here, दुबे जी, ये सुकांत है, इसको एक्टिंग करनी है. He looked at me, आपने said, बाप के पास बहुत पैसे हैं क्या? नहीं दुबे जी, मेरे पास है थोड़े से. दुबे had said long back, you will first be cast on your look and look alone.
हमारा पॉडकास्ट का बजट अराउंड 20,000 रुपये है पर पॉडकास्ट.
क्या बात कर रहे हैं
तो
यार?
हमें 3 के लिए दे दीजिए.
पहले बोलना चाहिए था यार. अब भी एकदम साला खत्म हो गया है यार.
So, welcome. So, I want to take everybody to our first meeting, and I'll just talk about that a bit.
Okay.
So, like we were discussing before this, we met around 1.5 years back, and what I remember was that I was sitting, and you entered, and you had this very kind of an intense vibe, this long hair and beard and everything, and then as we spoke, I got to know you're from theatre. So you know that Delhi mein, like I'm from Delhi, so Delhi mein all these theatre artists have this very intense stereotype kind of a look, I might say. मुझे लग रहा था कि मैं ऐसे मंडी हाउस में बैठा हूँ and first person who's very authentic theatre artist. So now what changed? Industry happened?
No man, that was just a look for something. I don't roam around with. I detest that Jora Kurta, that stereotype image. I detest it. No, just drop it. Even at Mandi House, if you're roaming like that, don't do that, yaar. Don't call yourself a theatre.
But I think you have an image that is very like a serious but what I have figured out is that you are very like humorous and chill and.
Yeah, this is the second interview. I'll say I'm a very funny guy.
But you don't have to prove it in the entire interview.
Hopefully not, yaar. Hopefully not. No, that was just that. I think we met when I think we were either preparing for the shoot of Kala Pani or we had done one schedule and then we were waiting for the next one to happen, and for that I had to carry the look, and it's damn irritating to in the waiting period to trim your own beard and keep it maintained. So I just let it grow, and I just let the hair grow. Phir those guys know how to do it really well when you reach on the first day of shoot. So HMU people will cut it just perfectly for you. So why do you have to take the trouble?
No, but I took it very seriously. Oh my God, serious actor. Oh. But anyway, so you're from Muzaffarnagar, and then you've lived in Delhi for some time, and now Mumbai, of course. So let's start with what do you think is the difference between all these 3 cities? The people, the vibe, what you like, what you don't like, perhaps.
Very different. मुजफ्फरनगर से 100 किलोमीटर पे दिल्ली है, उसी में इतना डिफरेंस है. तो दिल्ली से बॉम्बे तो I mean Delhi, Bombay, because they are urban setups, so एक certain type का milieu वहाँ पे हो जाता है. So like for you instance, you're coming from Delhi to Mumbai, you're able to figure out the dynamics of this city because कुछ चीज़ें हैं, मतलब you know how to use transport, you know how to use the roads, etc. Order food.
Maybe used to people
who have got, you know, possibly a similar education to you, since 2 or 3 generations have lived in a similar manner to yours, so it's easier. But when you come from Muzaffarnagar, and that's very different how people live over there. Or मतलब बहुत छोटी जगह है यार.
So any good qualities and bad qualities of each city?
Good qualities, what I'm missing more and more is the times when, you know, I remember घर पे कोई आता था तो ऐसे फ़ोन करके नहीं आता था, टाइम लेके.
In Muzaffarnagar?
मुजफ्फरनगर में कोई भी कभी भी आ जाता था. They would ring the bell or knock the door and you would open it. और अगर पापा घर पे नहीं है, कोई बात नहीं, वो बैठते थे, कप चाय पीते थे, थोड़ी बातचीत करते थे, चाहे मैं ही हूँ अकेला घर पे, और चले जाते थे. Here you have to call, you know, you have to make plans even with your own parents who live somewhere other side of the town कि मैं कल 4 बजे आऊँगा. Otherwise everything gets, you know, if you have to stay the night, you know, it shakes up the whole house. ऐसा कुछ नहीं था उधर. अभी भी कम है. आ जाते हैं लोग, जैसे कोई यहाँ से जो बॉम्बे में रहा है मेरे साथ अगर वहाँ गया, फॉर इंस्टेंस माई वाइफ, इट्स वेरी ऑड टू हर दैट, यू नो, पीपल जस्ट टर्न अप एंड सिट विदाउट एन एंड लिमिट समटाइम्स. 1 2 3 चाय और चल रहे हैं, बात कर रहे हैं. ऐसे कैसे चले जाएं किसी के घर, बताना है नहीं होंगे तो वापस चले जाएंगे. that mentality is very different.
Right.
And yeah,
तो बट लोग बॉम्बे के अच्छे हैं.
लोग बॉम्बे के शायद अच्छे इसलिए नहीं क्योंकि उनके पास टाइम नहीं है बुरा होने के लिए. टाइम दे दोगे इंसान को तो बुरा हो सकता है. एक्चुअली तो ना टाइम है और ज़मीन नहीं है लोगों के पास यार. मतलब आपके पास घर होना मतलब ये एक हवाई बात है यहाँ पे, जगह होना. तो बॉम्बे के पास अब उसको एडवांटेज कह लो या डिसएडवांटेज कह लो, शायद उससे फ़ायदा ये हुआ है कि लोग ज़्यादा एक दूसरे के कामों में पड़ते नहीं हैं. दे कीप गोइंग, यू नो, एंड दैट्स व्हाई बॉम्बे, आई फील अमंगस्ट ऑल द मेट्रो सिटीज़ in India, Mumbai is, for me, if I have to pick one, it has to be Mumbai, you know.
Right.
And a city which is safe for women is safe for you, man.
Of course. Right.
And it's a privilege to be able to live here. So many things are possible in this city, despite all its problems. और अभी हम लोग गड्ढों की और सड़क खुदी हुई सब बातें कर रहे थे. ठीक है, पर अच्छी चीज़ें भी हैं.
I mean the positives kind of overtake the negatives also.
Yeah.
So safety से मुझे याद है कि दिल्ली, which is actually not a good example of safety, but so you were in 11th and 12th in DPS RK Puram, right? Yeah. And since you were so actively involved and are actively involved in theatre in Mumbai, so weren't you interested in the Delhi theatre circuit and, you know?
No, I was only interested in doing nonsense with my friends, just like exploring Delhi. Yeah. I was not interested in anything at all. Because till 10th, I was this really good student and, you know, topping in my class and doing everything, sports and elocutions and but it was a very walled existence in those boarding schools, class 1 से 10 तक. So, you know, you were a hero or a failure within that wall. बाहर का कुछ पता ही नहीं होता था यार. दिल्ली गया 11th 12th में तो थोड़ा बाहर की हवा लगी और दिल्ली की लग गई. तो वो 2 साल तो सिर्फ
क्या था मतलब, how was it with your friends that time?
Yeah, those friends till date remain my closest friends. Right. That group of 4-5 people and जिनको नाकारा कहा जाता था, सब अच्छा कर रहे हैं, कुछ ना कुछ इंटरेस्टिंग कर रहे हैं, सब बहुत इंटेलिजेंट लोग हैं. What was it like? It was, लोगों को लगा कि मैं 11th 12th गया क्योंकि मुझे IIT में जाना था. मेरे पेरेंट्स को भी ऐसा लगा, ऐसा कुछ था नहीं एक्चुअली. रीज़न कुछ और ही था. और वहाँ दिल्ली में जाके एक तो कोएड स्कूल फर्स्ट टाइम, उससे पहले I was always in a boys school, so and co-ed school with skirts, you know, and there was a reputation at DPS RK Puram that, you know, the girls themselves wanted, you know, the shorter the skirt, the cooler you are. So the closer it's to the knee, the less boys are looking at you. so, but for me it was very difficult to look. I didn't know how to look, and I was in a bio section जहाँ पे 27 लड़कियाँ थी और 6 लड़के थे. So I used to sit right next to the window and put my head outside कि कोई मुझसे गलती से पेन या पेंसिल भी ना मांग ले अगर गिर गई हो, because उसकी शक्ल देखनी पड़ जाएगी यार. And कहीं आंखें टांगों पे चली गई तो you don't know कि कैसे आपने देख लिया है. और कैसे उसने perceive कर लिया है, and touch, smells. I remember that if I have to close my eyes. Break में there used to be a swarm, and DPS Puram is like mini India. It's मतलब इतना populated है. 11th में 1000 लोग, 12th में 1000 लोग.
Right.
It would, there was a swarm of children that would leave from the classes, and I would be walking like this कि कहीं हाथ ना लग जाए, but at the same time I wanted to see them. I wanted to see what they look like, and have a girlfriend, and yeah, so there was a lot of like girl talking about girls. There was a lot of trying to figure out fashion, be cool, because before that there was no fashion.
Let me stop you. Any silly thing you remember you did in order to become cool that time, to kind of just shine amongst your
sure,
peers?
man. I colored my hair burgundy.
Yeah.
We walked to. There used to be this, I think Children's Day पे, there used to be this gala thing in school. और boys hostel के बच्चों को भी allowed था जाना, and there would be like a DJ and stuff, and you were allowed to on that one day wear your own clothes.
Own clothes. Which is a privilege.
It's a privilege. Yeah.
Yeah.
Privilege. मतलब it's that's the night. That's the golden opportunity for everything. Like the whole year you're spent in those stupid whites and greens. Everyone looks the same. Only a good face can make you stand out. Here there's a chance. You can get something done. And बोर्डिंग स्कूल और हॉस्टल में इतना कहाँ जाए शॉपिंग करने वगैरह, तो हम लोग कूद के जाते थे बाहर, या गार्ड को पटा के, वी आर नॉट अलाउड टू गो आउट. और फिर वो ऑटो में हम लोग ये 20 रुपए में PVR प्रिया ले जा, 3 है 4 है 5 है 6 लोग घुस गए ऑटो में वगैरह, एंड यू बाय व्हाटएवर यू कैन गेट अ हैंग ऑफ, शेयर इट. व्हाट वी डिड वाज वी वेंट टू चाणक्यपुरी, एंड वहाँ पे पहले तो हमने एक बियर पी. This is 12th I think, and Foster's, shit, I don't know if I can say the brand, who cares. Yeah, and then we had just enough money left to buy hair color, and all of us together could share one. वो burgundy करके था कलर, मतलब
all of you did it?
There were 3-4 of us. हमने सबने कहा कि हम लोग बाल कलर करेंगे वगैरह, and we bought it. It was some, I don't know, 90 odd bucks. And then we were left with no money. So then we walked with that color in our hand all the way to school from Chanakya to RK Puram. Right. और फिर रात को बैठ के एक दूसरे के बाल हम लोग कलर कर रहे थे उससे, and smelling of ammonia, we don't know how it is. और फिर देखा किसी का कलर ही नहीं दिख रहा है ट्यूबलाइट में, समझ नहीं आ रहा यार ये क्या हो गया यार, 90 रुपीज स्पेंड हो गए, कल क्या होगा वगैरह. And come morning, we're all disappointed. We wear our clothes and we walk out, and the sun shines. और सबके लाल लाल बाल 3-4 लोग के दिखे. We sure made heads turn, but I don't know.
Did it work with the girls?
Well,
or boys?
No, so that was I already had a girlfriend at that time. I don't know. I was trying to impress her all over again. You have to keep the cool thing going.
Yeah.
You can't be cool one day and you can't like not be cooler after a few days later. You have to be cooler. You have to keep evolving. So that was part of evolution.
ये भी pressure होता है, हम लोग पे क्या कर सकते हैं.
But I colored my hair once again in college.
Yeah.
Burgundy again.
Wow, man. That is some courage.
Yeah, courage. I liked it. I think I might do it again.
Okay.
Yeah, I like color.
And let's do a podcast then.
Oh, for sure.
With the burgundy color hair.
Yeah, I keep encouraging my friends who wants to color their hair.
Right.
Women friends from the theatre, or my wife, she wants to color. I say, yeah, color. Put some color.
So, so tell me one thing. So you have been educated from like most of the reputed places I've known in this country.
Yeah.
Right? Doon School, Welham, DPS RK Puram. Then you did engineering also. ऐसा जनरली मैंने सुना है काफ़ी कि लोग कहते हैं ये कि there's a difference between an educated actor and probably an actor who's not very educated. So do you think your education somehow kind of helped in your journey? Or exposure, I might say, whatever your learnings had been?
That education is same for everyone. जो स्कूल में होती है ना, वो सबकी same है. थोड़ा बहुत difference है, your boards, and some teachers might be better in some schools, and I think when we talk about actors' education, yes, sure. Everything can be your strength and anything can be your weakness. But yes, you have to educate yourself as an actor. That education is different. Nobody tells you to read. In school, yes, ठीक है. In Doon school, yes, some teachers did encourage me to read. That education helped.
Okay.
Not so much the trigonometry or what you're learning in chemistry or Yes, speaking helps. Yes, communication helps. The fact that I saw thousands of characters from my class 1 to all the way to the end of my engineering, a plethora of people.
You met so many people
Met so many
of different
people,
cities.
lived with them literally. Never went back home and came to school again. Always, staying there. So that's my bank also
Right.
of people. But education is something that you have to somehow, with this education, you have to work on it yourself. You have to keep educating. You have to keep reading. You have to keep. You have to understand the meaning of history all over again, because history is not what they teach us in schools.
Right.
That's something else. But to discover history all over again, or discover chemistry all over again, or to discover English or literature or Hindi, and language, and that is education. This is not education. This is conditioning.
No, but if there's someone new actor and he wants to just like इतने तक पढ़ाई तो कर लो, तो what is your advice? या जितना हो सके कर लो.
मुझे लगता है कि वो एम्बिगुअस है. हमारे यहाँ अभी भी वो कल्चर ऑफ फियर है, एक सिक्योरिटी का,
Right.
जो हम अपने बच्चे के लिए चाहते हैं. तो एवरीवन कम्स फ्रॉम देयर. भाई ग्रेजुएट तो कर ले, ताकि कुछ तो हो. लोग बोले पढ़ा लिखा है. इट्स ऑल अबाउट परसेप्शन.
Right.
It's still about pleasing the other person, whoever meets you in your life, कि भाई उसको लेगा तो पढ़ा लिखा है. बट मैं रिजेक्ट करता हूँ उसको. मुझे लगता है कि वो अगर आप वही से स्कूल में भेजने वाले हो, वैसे ही एजुकेशन देने वाले हो, तो मुझे लगता है कोई ज़रूरी नहीं है. आई डोंट नो, आई एम नॉट अ पेरेंट, आई कांट से दैट, बट इफ देयर समथिंग मोर होलिस्टिक, तो छोड़ दो 5वीं में स्कूल, 7वीं में स्कूल छोड़ दो, कोई मतलब नहीं है.
And learn from life.
Learn from life, learn from, I don't know, books, travel, people, find what attracts you at that time, go with it. The deeper you go into anything, the more you understand about everything else.
But this sense of safety you spoke about,
Yeah.
was that a reason for your engineering?
Yes,
Okay.
Yes.
And from your parents?
yes, absolutely.
Okay.
But I won't blame it all on them.
Yeah, but it's like this
Yes.
hot topic in India.
Yeah.
Like even I was asked to do it.
Yeah.
So, but I didn't do it. But still.
Yes, absolutely. Bhai. Oh, that culture of fear and culture of wanting security in a middle class setup. Yeah, that was at work fully. वही रीज़न था इंजीनियरिंग करने, और कोई रीज़न नहीं है. और ये रीज़न कि मुझे पता नहीं था मुझे करना क्या है.
Right.
तो इंजीनियरिंग कर लो.
हाँ.
मेरे मम्मी पापा डॉक्टर हैं, लेकिन ये मैंने रियलाइज़ कर लिया 11th में कि भाई 15 साल तो मैं पढ़ाई नहीं कर पाऊंगा. इट्स टू मच. तो ये तो नहीं करेंगे, बचा क्या इंजीनियरिंग. ठीक है, इंजीनियरिंग कर लेते हैं. बट आई could never picture myself as a worker, as a job,
Right.
and climbing the ladder in a company. I can't remember any such fantasies that I had at that time. I don't know if those fantasies people really have or not. Maybe some people do.
There are people.
Yeah.
I know a lot of them.
Yeah, right. So I never saw that. Although I worked in a very cool company and a very cool setup.
I
after
know.
my
L&T.
Not L&T. That's the funny thing.
In the mining company.
Yeah. So the thing is that I got a job offer from L&T.
Okay.
But the day I was supposed to join them, I joined this other company.
Oh, you didn't work at L&T?
No, I didn't.
Oh.
The whole idea of finding work at that time was that मैं बॉम्बे में कोई जॉब ले लूँगा और शाम को थिएटर करूँगा.
ठीक है.
Because तब तक मेरा माइंड बन गया था.
हाँ.
Around final year of college, I was sure that I had to act somehow or the other, and I'd applied to all these universities in the US for a PhD program. All of them rejected me, thankfully.
Okay.
Which is a very rare thing to happen in my college. In fact, I don't think it's ever happened that a chemical engineering student from ICT or UDCT formerly has applied to American universities.
What went wrong?
What went right, I should say. What went wrong? I think my statement of purpose was not aligned to a PhD program.
Okay.
It was all about this guy is dancing here, or I did this poem there, or I performed this or whatever, and then why the hell do you want to do molecular biology? Why should we spend so many rupees on you, so many dollars to bring you here and do a PhD
Right.
program in
Right.
bioengineering and stuff? I don't know, something just worked. Maybe I applied to the wrong universities way above my caliber, or I don't know. I think it was my statement of purpose. Because despite all the issues I had in college with my professors, I'd like to believe that they gave me good recommendations. I don't know.
I think they usually do at the end. You
Yeah.
know, even if what's your image, they want
Yeah.
their kids to kind of go abroad. And
I think so. I think so. Some of our professors are extremely honest, though. ICT.
So even the same thing happened with me. I was also doing drama for 3 years in DU, and then I also went for masters abroad. So they didn't like me at all throughout 3 years. कभी आता नहीं है, ड्रामा करता रहता है, this that, you know. But at the end of it, they were very sweet. When I was applying, I requested them, and I think one of them even told me that you write whatever you want to write and give it to me. I will, as it is, write my own thing on the top and just give it back to you. So I was like, that's the best thing you can ask for, right?
Don't you see like how faulty this system is?
Actually,
How weirdly it works.
Yeah.
And we say I'm graduated. So what the hell does that even mean? What does it mean? It means nothing.
yeah,
But yeah.
that is what it is.
Yeah. The one biscuit, many cockroaches, what to do?
So you're telling about this African.
This company was called Taurian Resources back then, but then it
Okay.
changed its name to Dharani Sampada. And my friend, incidentally, Gaurang, who was in IIT Bombay, it was his cousin's company.
Okay.
And he said, मैं यहाँ पे internship कर रहा था, तू उधर चले जा, मज़ा आएगा, लोग बहुत सही हैं, पैसा भी ज़्यादा मिलेगा L&T से. तो मैं कहा हाँ ठीक है. And I went for the interview, and they were like, yeah, come. When do you want to come? I said, now. They said, no, take a day, come tomorrow. I said, okay, fine, sure. So I came the next day. For 25 days, I literally did not much except discovering how a Mac works, because
Yeah.
I had a Mac on my desktop. I was like,
Yeah.
ये सही चीज़ है. कुछ ज़्यादा काम नहीं था, but then the chairman of the company, he came one day and he's like, हम लोग बड़ा काम करेंगे सुकांत, ये सब मत करो. I said okay. 2-3 दिन बाद आए, सुकांत अफ्रीका जाओगे? मैंने कहा हाँ अफ्रीका जाऊँगा. ठीक है, मम्मी पापा से बात कर लो, कोई प्रॉब्लम हो तो मुझसे बात करा देना. I was like okay, because I had the plan in my head was that I'm not going to go to a first world country,
Okay.
come what may, to either work or study, because then I'll get stuck. I'll never be able to come back.
Of course.
That knowing me. So I was happy I didn't get to go to America. There was a job offer possibility in Germany, which I didn't even reply to the mail. I said no, don't think नहीं वापस आ पाएगा.
So, but आना क्यों, मतलब just
to act.
to act.
Yeah. Just single point. That's it.
So,
Nothing else.
but that can be done there also.
I suppose, but I had no such dream of acting there.
Okay.
Acting had a very, very like what do you call single cellular kind of objective at that time.
Right.
ये जो हम लोग हिंदी कमर्शियल पिक्चरें देखते हैं वही एक्टिंग है. उससे ज़्यादा कुछ ज़्यादा था नहीं.
ठीक है.
To tell you, हाँ ठीक है, there were some Hollywood films and actors that we loved and watched, but it seemed too far. It seemed like this is not our world, this is just to sit and enjoy a Tom Hanks film and
Yeah.
say wow, amazing, Steven Spielberg, etc., but not really. Not really. It was still the Munna Bhai or this or that, that would connect in some way.
काम क्या था वहाँ पे?
They had manganese mines 400 kilometers away in the jungles, and I was in the head office. So basically there was nothing. You mine manganese ore, you truck it to the port, and from the port you export it to steel industries in China, Iran, India, etc. And the head office is in Bombay, and the second boss was in Africa, who was controlling the operations there. And I started with purchase, and I got into sale, then negotiations for freight rates, shipping.
So you must be earning well then.
I was earning very well. I was being taken care of very well. They treated me like a brother. He had little kids. It was lovely. There was an African chef who used to cook amazing Indian food. Dal, chawal वगैरह भी बनाता था. Great. I mean, and that city was amazing. It had these wonderful like nightclubs and restaurants and great big supermarkets and beautiful lagoon. Lots of poverty, of course. That was a separation. But you know, it was called the Paris of West Africa. If I have to reduce the context, not Africa, but West Africa. So you know, we had the cars, we had things. It was a great life. You know, I was at 24.
तो छोड़ा क्यों वो सब फिर थिएटर के लिए? Passion is the word.
कुछ चुभ रहा था हर रात को यार, रोज every night I'm thinking, how am I to get out of here? They're so nice, the people are so nice, I love them, this work is so interesting. No one from my batch is doing anything like this. You know, people with any sort of sense of adventure would give an arm and a leg to be where I am today, because in a few years maybe I'll be some kind of boss in this company, because it was still a growing company and we had lots of mining permits all over Africa. So I was literally managing the affairs of Ivory Coast, and then my boss was going to Gabon to set up the other mines, and within 6 months. So, you know, I'm talking to the president of that country. I'm dealing with the mines minister of that country. I'm making programs for these machines. It's like I have a bodyguard after 6 months, because there was a shooting incident. There was like AK-47 ambush, and I have a bodyguard who's arranging passes for me to watch a football match between Ivory Coast and Burkina Faso. I'm watching Didier Drogba and these people. It was, you know, and
ये सब छोड़कर आप आज ये बट शो कर रहे हो.
और मनी सारा सैलरी का बैंक अकाउंट में, वहाँ पैसा सारा मैं कंपनी का स्पेंड करता था अपने ऊपर, कैश में. मतलब जो करना है करो. मैंने सोचा घर बनवाऊंगा पापा मम्मी के लिए, वो ज़मीन है उधर, मम्मी को घर बनवाना था. लेकिन हम बहुत सेल्फिश हैं यार एक्टर लोग, छोड़ दिया सब. It was.
Tell me about that one particular night or that moment when you said कि okay, cut it, we come back.
I think I was waiting for any one or two friends of mine from Bombay to say, come, it'll happen. So there was this friend of mine, Ravneet, who was doing a course in makeup at that time.
Okay.
She said, come, you know, there are people, etc. Tu aaja Sukant. And I don't know, I just felt like, now or never. So I mailed my dad. I could not call him, I can't confront डायरेक्टली. लाइक मैं सारी अपनी बातें पहले मेल पे लिख लेता हूँ, आप सब पढ़ लो. और फिर वो सब लिखा मैंने कि भाई जो आपने कहा वो मैंने किया, एक अच्छे बच्चे की तरह इंजीनियर.
But that's sweet. I mean, मतलब
yeah. But you know, I know their fears. I'm the only son. My dad doesn't have a hospital or anything, so he was always clear that भाई अगर डॉक्टर बनना है तो भी तेरे को अपनी दुकान खुद चलानी पड़ेगी, कुछ और बनना है तो भी खुद करना पड़ेगा. मेरे पास कुछ है नहीं ऐसा कि मैं तेरे को दे दूँ बनाया. Because a lot of other friends of mine who are, you know, doctors' children, they all have their hospital set up. So a lot of them have become doctors and gone to those establishments. Not that they don't have to still work hard or study, but I would never have had that. So he was fearful, you know, they are fearful people, middle class, security, this, that. Acting, मतलब दूर तक कोई वास्ता ही नहीं है ना किसी का इस चीज़ से.
Or what is it?
He said कि okay, you come, take a leave and come, we'll talk about it. Don't quit right now, take a leave and come. So I took a leave and I went and we had this chat, and they said that we are not shocked, but we are worried, we are scared how to go about this वगैरह. And all this talk, and इससे बात कर लेते हैं, उससे बात कर लेते हैं. वो होता है ना, उधर मैं बॉम्बे में एक है, उससे बात करता हूँ कि कैसे होता है वगैरह. एंड उससे मिल लेना, हम लोग विशाल भारद्वाज.
अभी तक आपने एक्टिंग नहीं करी थी कहीं पर भी?
कुछ नहीं करा था. मतलब प्रोफेशनल के आसपास भी नहीं करा था. सिर्फ दिमाग में किया था. कुछ भी देखता रहता, हाँ ये मैं कर लूँगा, ये मैं इससे भी अच्छा कर लूँगा, ये तो डेफिनेटली.
एंड देन यू लेफ्ट एवरीथिंग एंड थिएटर फुल टाइम.
या.
एंड डिड द फाइनेंशियल थिंग पिंच यू इन द बिगनिंग?
No, there was the means were meager, but it never really bothered me. I had saved some money. I had splurged a lot of money. I don't know how to keep money. I would send it to my college का juniors. अच्छा फेस्टिवल के लिए हाँ ठीक है ले 50,000 1 लाख. I don't know how to. I like it if I have money and everyone's enjoying it.
हमारा पॉडकास्ट का बजट अराउंड 20,000 रुपए है पर पॉडकास्ट.
क्या बात कर रहे हैं?
तो हमें 3 के लिए दे दीजिए.
पहले बोलना चाहिए था यार. अब भी एकदम साला खत्म हो गया है यार बैंक में पैसा. मैं सोच रहा हूँ मैं क्योंकि
मतलब यही प्रॉब्लम है, मैं जब भी किसी से मांगता हूँ उसी टाइम उनके पैसे खराब
खत्म हो जाते हैं यार। अब मैं सामने से मैसेज करूंगा कि कोई पॉडकास्ट कर रहा है क्या, अभी पैसे हैं भेज दूं।
डर डर।
कमर्शियल काम करने के बाद भी ना समहाउ यही सब कर रहा हूँ मैं, इंडी फिल्म इंडी फीचर, 10 लोग चलो कोई पैसा नहीं है, लोग बोल रहे हैं क्या कर रहा है, क्यों नहीं कर रहा तू, कमर्शियल काम कर ये वो। अब मैं क्या करूँ यार, जहाँ अट्रैक्ट हो गया चला गया, अभी ये से चल रही है लाइफ। व्हाट आई एम टेलिंग, इट्स ऑल अबाउट व्हाट अट्रैक्ट्स मी, व्हाट पुल्स मी। आई एम अनएबल टू कंट्रोल माई सेल्फ एंड गो देयर एंड इंडल्ज. So yeah, the money thing didn't bother. There was some.
But were you married then?
Not then. No.
Okay.
No. But you know, we are privileged people. Even if we don't have a lot of money, you still have a lot of social privileges in this country. Just because of things like, you know, your caste, social status. Because your parents will always know somebody in some city via who can always come around and help you in some way.
Right.
My Mosi was here, so she was in Indian Bank, and I went initially stayed with my friend in Vashi. So I used to travel from Vashi to Juhu to do the workshops in Prithvi with Satyadev Dubey, and then I shifted to my Mosi's house for a year and a half. We didn't get along very well because she couldn't understand why I'm out late at night, or what are these erratic schedules, why can't I inform her that I'm not having lunch. I wasn't used to living like that. I was used to living in a boarding setup. I didn't have to tell anyone मेरा lunch हाँ नहीं खाना. And my parents would let me be जब मैं छुट्टियों में आता था. तो मेरे माँ बाप से उस तरह की strict relationship नहीं थी, और मेरी मौसी बहुत strict थी. तो वो कुछ जमा ही नहीं, और हम दोनों कुड़ते रहते थे. तो एक टाइम बाद मैंने मम्मी से कहा कि यार मैं छोड़ देता हूँ प्लीज़, वरना सब खराब हो जाएगा हमारे बीच में. तो मैंने छोड़ दिया वो. उसके बाद से हम बिल्कुल अच्छे हो गए मौसी और मैं.
Okay.
And I moved to Malwani in Malad, and I took a little 180 square foot का कमरा with one bathroom, and that was where we lived for 2.5 years.
Nice.
Yeah, money was not, yes, कम होता था. You couldn't do a lot of things that you wanted to do, but I mean,
You couldn't have a bodyguard in your case.
just for sure, man. You couldn't have a bodyguard. You couldn't like go to a good enough gym to
Right.
build your own body because they
Right.
were expensive.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a beautiful time because there were, you don't know what you had to achieve, so you were just walking along with whoever you felt could give you something. Now you're always thinking, oh, ये करूँ क्या, उसके साथ जाऊँ क्या, उसके साथ ये काम करूँ क्या. I'm already thinking of इससे मुझे क्या मिल जाएगा and all that. That innocence at that time was, I don't know इससे मुझे क्या मिलेगा, क्या
Right.
नहीं मिलेगा. I'm going, I don't have anything else. कुछ मिल ही जाता है. या ये समझ में आता है कि नहीं भाई इस रास्ते पे नहीं जाना है ऐसे आदमी के साथ. So that was a beautiful time. It was a
Of
beautiful
course.
time of no money, no success, none of these measures that, you know, that define you in your own head as, okay, now I'm an actor. But there were texts, there was learning, there was interacting with people who had the same restlessness, same urge to, you know, get on
It's like
the
a
stage.
beautiful organized confusion or chaos or that type.
Yeah. It's beautiful. It's childlike.
तो आपने नाम लिया अभी सत्यदेव दुबे का, या should I say पंडित सत्यदेव दुबे.
You heard that bit?
So you have to explain my joke because they will think कि मैं lame joke मारा बड़ा फंसे. So you have to explain why. What is the story?
अरे यार, so for those of you who might not know, Satyadev Dubey is one of the greatest names in
Of course.
in modern Indian theatre, and of course, and he was a great teacher, is what most people also know him by. And somehow I landed in his. So I think it was my birthday when I left my job and I've come here. 1 महीना 1.5 महीना हो गया था कुछ नहीं करते हुए, और मैं एक लड़की को जानता था जो मैंने सुना था मेरे ऑफिस में से कि वो पृथ्वी पे कुछ ना कुछ करती रहती है. गेल her name is Gail Almeida, and I had taken some money in my pocket to go and join Ekjut's workshop, Ekjut Theatre, which is run by Nadira Babbar ji. तो क्योंकि मुझे वही नाम पता था, और किसी दोस्त ने भी कहा था हाँ वो ज्वाइन कर ले, वो लोग प्ले भी कराते हैं. फिर एंड ऑफ द वर्कशॉप में ना एक प्ले भी होता है, समथिंग टू शो.
It's a bonus.
It's a bonus, and it's like this workshop formula also now.
Right.
एंड एनीवे, हाँ मैं ट्रेन में था, अंधेरी जा रहा था, लेकिन पारला के आसपास उसने मुझे कॉल किया गेल ने, और बहुत ही हश्ड वॉइस में कहा कि हम लोग रिहर्सल कर रहे हैं यहाँ पृथ्वी हाउस में, जस्ट कम हियर क्विकली। ओके, मैं उतर गया विले पार्ले स्टेशन पे एंड आई वेंट टू पृथ्वी थिएटर। वहाँ पे पृथ्वी थिएटर के सामने पृथ्वी हाउस करके एक रिहर्सल स्पेस है, उधर गया, लोग बैठे हुए थे, कुछ नाटक रिहर्स कर रहे थे, एंड आई यूज्ड टू हैव अ पोनी टेल दैट टाइम। So I sat there and I listened to the whole rehearsal, कुछ समझ नहीं आया, but after the rehearsal Gail asked me, हाँ so what do you want to do? I said मुझे थिएटर करना है। So many stories start with this line, no? मुझे थिएटर करना है। So she said, अच्छा so what's your plan? I said nothing, मैं एकजुट की वर्कशॉप के लिए रजिस्टर करने जा रहा था, मैं पैसे लेके निकला हूँ। बोलती दुबे की वर्कशॉप कर ले। मैंने कहा ठीक है, कौन किसकी? बोलते दुबे जी हैं, उनकी वर्कशॉप कल से शुरू हो रही है, वो कर लो। मैंने ओके। बोलती है इनफैक्ट वो यहीं बैठे हैं अभी पृथ्वी कैफ़े में, मैं मिलवा देती हूँ। मैंने कहा ओके, कौन है ये दुबे? बोलती है जो सवाल पूछें उतना ही जवाब देना, ज़्यादा बोलना मत। मैंने कहा ओके। मैं गया, पीछे एक really old man was sitting alone at a table trying to put food in his mouth, and she comes here, दुबे जी ये सुकांत है, इसको एक्टिंग करनी है। he looked at me, आपने said बाप के पास बहुत पैसे हैं क्या? नहीं दुबे जी, मेरे पास है थोड़े से। अच्छा सन साइन क्या है तुम्हारा? मैंने कहा सैजिटेरियस। मेरे बहुत सारे दोस्त सैजिटेरियस हैं, श्याम बाबू सैजिटेरियस है। सोचा पता नहीं कौन है श्याम बाबू, क्या बोल रहा है बुढ़ा, क्या चाह रहा है? ठीक है, बोलते हैं अच्छा एक काम करो, एक पैसेज मैं तुमको दे रहा हूँ, वो पढ़ लो। ही कॉल्ड दिस पर्सन यूज्ड टू वर्क विद हिम, मुकेश, इसको दे दो। अब ये जो लिखा है ये घर जाके 200 बार शीशे के सामने बोलना, एक भी पंक्चुएशन इधर से इधर हुआ तो कल मत आना। अगर एकदम कॉन्फिडेंट हो कि पूरा टॉप से बॉटम तक एग्जैक्टली याद है तो आ जाना, और 20,000 रुपये लेके आ जाना। का ठीक है, एकजुट की कम थी। मैंने कहा ओके ओके। तो मैं जाने लगा। बोले रुको रुको, मैं कौन हूँ जानते हो? मैंने कहा दुबे जी। सत्यदेव दुबे। मैंने कहा यस, गूगल करना। ओके, मैं निकलने लगा। रुको रुको, एक गूगल और करना। क्या? पंडित सत्यदेव दुबे। पता नहीं कौन है यार, क्या कर रहा हूँ मैं। तो मैं गया, ट्रेन से मैं वाशी जा रहा था, दोस्त के यहाँ रहता था। मैंने पैसेज ट्रेन में बैठे बैठे याद कर लिया, वहाँ जाके दोस्त को बोर किया, खूब सुनाया, शीशे के सामने पढ़ा। फिर मैंने गूगल किया, मैंने कहा दोनों सेम है। सत्यदेव दुबे पंडित पागल है क्या यार, किसके पास जा रहा हूँ मैं? बट कुछ था उस पैसेज में जो बहुत एक्टर्स ने पढ़ा है और याद किया है।
I think that's his criteria or something, right? He gives to all actors.
All actors, and you get sucked into the words first because the words go like, आज हिंदुस्तान का हर नौजवान एक्टर बनना चाहता है, पर ये उसे कौन बताएगा कि एक्टर बनना हर किसी के बस की बात नहीं। कौन समझाएगा उसे कि एक्टर बनने के लिए प्रतिभा ज़रूरी है, टैलेंट। फिर इट गोज इनटू ये सभी नहीं, हार्ड वर्क ज़रूरी है, बहुत हार्ड वर्क करना पड़ता है। स्टार बन गए, अगर किस्मत चल गई तो और भी हार्ड वर्क करना पड़ता है, यानी कड़ी मेहनत से छुटकारा नहीं। देन द सेकंड पैसेज इज, you think you can act and you think you can dance like that, really can you make it feel like you're doing it, you're the one who's singing, एंड में बोलता है कोई बात नहीं, डरो मत। शीशे के सामने ये जो सारा ऊपर लिखा है उसको 200 मरतबा शीशे के सामने पढ़ो, ज़ोर ज़ोर से, आँखों में आँखें डाल के, यकीन मानो ये एक अच्छी शुरुआत होगी। दैट्स द एंड। यार ये क्यों लिखा है यार, इतना डिप्रेसिंग। मतलब आप आए हो एंड वेरी क्विकली इनटू द वर्कशॉप you realize that it's not about the words at all, and we're using just that passage to do several exercises. And most of those 19 days that I spent with him was him talking with his cigarettes continuously in Prithvi House. Those were the days when you could smoke inside, and there were only 3 of us in the workshop. फर्स्ट डे ही सेड वैसे ज़्यादा लोग होते हैं लेकिन इस बार, और किसी से पूछ लो, मेरे पास अभी पैसे नहीं लेता हूँ वर्कशॉप के लिए, इस बार मैंने सबसे 20-20 हज़ार रुपये लिया है क्योंकि मैं एक फिल्म बना रहा हूँ।
अच्छा,
और सबसे पहले यू नो हु गेव मी मनी, योर माय एक्स वाइफ, द फर्स्ट वन, सो गुडविल बहुत ज़रूरी है। क्या हो रहा है यार।
Interesting memory, but
And out of the 20 days, we did only 19 days. And for the next 2 years, every time he would meet me, he would tell me, तुम्हारा एक दिन बाकी है, लेकिन ये बताओ पहले कि उन 19 दिन का कुछ असर हुआ। So that 20th day never came, but it was like spread across 2 years, that 20th day, and I think that 20th day is still going on, even after he's gone. I think my whole life that 20th day will be going on.
Right.
So दुबे जी वो 3 बजे उनको ना फ़ोन जाता था उठाने के लिए दोपहर में। वो साहित्य सहवास एक बिल्डिंग है जहाँ पे महाराष्ट्र गवर्नमेंट रिकग्नाइज पीपल को जिनको वो रिकग्नाइज करती है फ्लैट्स देते थे। धर्मवीर भारती उनके नेबर थे। दैट्स हाउ द स्टोरी ऑफ हाउ ही डायरेक्टेड अंधायुग केम अप।
अच्छा।
एंड so you would have to call him, wake him up, then he would take an auto from Bandra East, Kalanagar, come all the way to Prithvi, and then he would walk in there and first have a cigarette, and then he would tell you about some dream he had. सपने में देखा जो तुम कल बात कर रहे थे वगैरह। And he used to have this Nokia 1100 hanging around his गर्दन, because otherwise he would lose it. And उसकी डायरेक्टरी फुल थी, तो किसी का भी बोलते थे इसका नंबर क्या है तुम्हारे पास है, डालो इसमें। then he would extend like that, and then you would hold him, think अरे यार मैं ज़्यादा ज़ोर से ना पकड़ूं। You tell him दुबे जी डायरेक्टरी फुल है, हाँ तो कुछ किसी का डिलीट कर दे का डाल दे।
So now let's talk about your screen journey, and so you've worked with a lot of great directors, I must say. Dibakar Banerjee, Anurag Kashyap, and all these people. So first I would like to talk about Dibakar Banerjee. क्या हुआ, मतलब ऐसे दूसरी बार भी काम आपने उनके साथ किया, एंड ही कॉल्ड यू हिमसेल्फ, मतलब आपने अपनी छाप छोड़कर आ गए थे?
आई गेस कुछ तो छोड़ा होगा कि वो वापस पकड़ना चाहते थे।
Sounds very
well, take it as you like, take it with a grain of salt.
करना पड़ता है इंडस्ट्री में ये सब, प्लीज।
No, it was very kind of him. Also, there's a friend of mine, Yashasvi Mishra, from FTI, wonderful writer, wonderful thinker, great communicator. He was working with Dibakar on Sandeep or Pinky Farrar on the script level, and also at the DA level, director's assistant जिसको कहते हैं। And I think so I did Sandeep or Pinky Farrar, there was a small part of a bank manager, और उसकी casting audition के through हुई थी, casting day was doing it, and that's when I read उस पे the first note written was a baby faced manager sits across uncle and whatever the name was. I was like baby faced manager, हाँ ये मैं फिट बैठ रहा हूँ इसमें, ये कर लो, कुछ करके ये मिल जाए कुछ तो। So I was like हाँ ठीक है, because Dubey had said long back, you will first be cast on your look and look alone.
Okay.
If you don't like it, don't accept it, that's not my fault, but that's the truth. Acting skill will उसके बाद होगा.
Wow.
First you'll be cast on your look, and true enough, largely whoever I saw around me, my friends जो हम लोग थिएटर में साथ में थे, that's what was happening. People were being cast on their look. Because how else do you know कि वो बंदा क्या परफॉर्म करता है, कैसे कर सकता है? You don't know. लोग इतना थिएटर देखने आते नहीं थे। फिल्म इंडस्ट्री और हमारे बीच में एक गैप है. There is not इतना कोलिसेंस नहीं है अभी भी कि फिल्म वाले आके देख रहे हैं और you know वो सब. So that casting happened somehow, and Abhishek Banerjee was helping me with the scene, and he broke it down beautifully for me, and it was a wonderful scene, and I was like ये तो कुछ crazy लिखा है, this is I should get to do this. And Dibakar was one of my favorite filmmakers, and that group of friends in Delhi, हम लोग you know कभी भी किसी को खुराना साहब बोल देते हैं वगैरह, खोसला के you know references from his films keep coming all the time, and I got through, and it was wonderful to shoot that with him. Anil Mehta was on the camera, so it was all, you know, Varun Grover had written dialogues also. So it was like wow, just like milk this, do whatever you, whatever. And he when he was directing me, it was very interesting because he would give these very interestingly precise things. Like there was the first scene where Raghuveer Yadav and Parineeti Chopra sitting across me, and they're just asking some things about bank procedures, and I'm telling them some things. And he told me after the first take that, Sukant, just see how minimum volume can you talk in? Low, low, low. What is the lowest? See that. In my head, okay, I have to challenge the sound guy because he might come and say, sir, thoda louder. But that was beautiful. And he said, are you going to look at Parineeti a lot? I said, I don't think I should look at her a lot. He's like, yeah. You don't look at her too much. They're not comfortable looking at women. So just those two notes basically, and that's how the scene went. And the second scene, in which I had to assault Parineeti, and we rehearsed that scene one day with the action girl, and Dibakar was doing something on his iPad. There was no DOP that day, and we were just rehearsing. So I got a hang of the room, the place. And before the scene started, I asked him, what do you want me to do? You want me to do something different? I felt stupid the moment I asked the question because generally I don't ask too many questions to directors. I think that they're trusting you, you are trusting yourself. There is something going on which too much asking means you have not asked yourself first. Because so I felt stupid immediately, and he said, no, audition was perfect, just do that and then we'll build on it. I said, okay. So we shot that, and it was nice, very interesting direction really. There was only one thing he really said. That was, and after one or two takes, after we'd finished the scene, he said, it's great. Is line or is line ke beech mein, can you extend time? I said, okay, sure. And say any one line that comes in your head, anything. I said, okay. Just extend time. Just stay where you are, stay in that zone, stay where you are. I said, on the lines of what do you want me to say that line? He said, on the lines of, please try to understand, ma'am. I was like, okay. And then we did the take, and I extended the time, and no other line came to me except for, ma'am, please try to understand. And that became weirdly funny, and extremely disturbing also in that moment. And that was it, and we did the scene. And then he was going to direct Ghost Stories one of the stories in that anthology, and Yashasvi had called me and said that tera naam aaya hai udhar, don't tell anyone, don't tell. But the moment your name came, Dibakar got excited, said yeah, and then he started saying your name while he was talking about the script.
Wow.
I said, okay, that's great. And then one day I was called, sure enough, and he just, like, after a little warm up, he just started narrating the story. I didn't realize that he started narrating the story. So, ek gaon hai, sham hai, aise hai. I was like, oh, one sec, is Dibakar Banerjee narrating a story to me? Is this really happening? And okay, I have to tell Saurabh or this friend or that friend because this is surreal.
Yeah.
But very quickly I got back to him because he's such a wonderful storyteller, orally. And then he said, what do you think? I said, I'm on, man. I'm going to hell and back with you. So this is just a film. It's on. And it worked out. He's an amazing director. Every film of his, every work has some importance to him personally, maybe. I don't know. I've never interviewed him, but it feels like that. It feels like there's always something he's talking about, something that's disturbing him, something. There's no formula in his films. And
that's what you love as an actor also. Keep challenging yourself and
yeah.
And I think this process is quite it's very visionary. Like even that one line, like he could think what impact that might have on the scene.
Yeah.
That's what magical and beautiful about it.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. No, he's very sharp. He's always ahead of you in any conversation.
Yeah.
Very sharp. You can't fool him. Not that I try to fool my directors, but some people do on sets, actors, they do. They think they're very smart.
And this world of Anurag Kashyap, please explain that. How did that happen? And if you can just give some bits of his process also. As an actor, it's very intriguing to
Yes,
hear, honestly.
Yes, again, another favorite director who
Of course.
changed the way we look at cinema,
Right.
changed our expectations from Hindi cinema. We started wanting different things because he introduced that to us, and yeah, it's beautiful because I didn't know that he knew me and he wanted to work with me. I got to know it through some friend, or when I bumped into him incidentally at some place once, and he said, you know, I'm a huge fan, and
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
like, what's going on? What's going on? And secretly, I was very excited inside. When will it happen? When will it happen? And I think around so then दोबारा करके जो फिल्म अनुराग ने बनाई, उसका नाम पहले कुछ और होने वाला था, रिवाइंड होने वाला था उसका नाम.
Okay.
So I got a call that, you know, and I remember being called for Sacred Games 2 का एक audition.
Okay.
And I gave that audition. I didn't get that part, but I knew that something's going to happen. Something will happen with him. And then this rewind happened, and वो रुक गई, फिल्म बनी नहीं 1-1.5 साल तक वगैरह. बीच में Ghost Stories हो गई, जिसमें अनुराग ने भी एक फिल्म बनाई थी. So he came into my room all of a sudden. हम लोग बैंड्रा में ताज में थे to do promotions with Netflix. And he said, यार तूने क्या काम किया है दिवाकर की फिल्म में, और तूने मैक्सिमम सिटी पढ़ी है क्या? वो फिल्म तो जब हम बनाएंगे वो तो होगी रिवाइंड. वो तो बेसिकली एक बड़ा अच्छा सीन है जो मैं लिखना चाहता हूँ. अगर तू कर रहा है तो मैं लिखूँगा, वो मज़ा आएगा उसमें. मैंने कहा हाँ मैं तो कर ही रहा हूँ, जब भी आप कर रहे हो. बड़ी साइड तूने मैक्सिमम सिटी पढ़ी है किताब? मैंने कहा नहीं. पढ़ ले. आई पिच्ड यू टू प्ले द पार्ट ऑफ सुकेतु मेहता, हु इज़ अ राइटर. 3 film series we'll make. I was like, yeah, sure. And I went back home, and 2 days later he called me in the morning. He said, are you free nowadays? What are you up to? I said, I'm free. He said, Delhi Jaipur jayega kya? Suketu is coming. You want to spend some time with him? I said, yeah, sure. And next day I was on a flight to Delhi, and I met Suketu, and we spent 4 days, 2 days in Delhi, 2 days at the Jaipur Lit Fest with him. I met I was introduced to this wonderful world of journalists and writers, and you know, the only time they really like look rich and when they are partying is, you know, Penguin की party है और आज इस publisher की party है. I asked him, यार तुम लोग तो बहुत enjoy करते हो. He said, नहीं यार यही एक मौका होता है.
Yeah.
So prep had started. That project hasn't taken off. Somehow I'm still hopeful that will happen, but दोबारा happened, and first day we didn't even shoot with Anurag because he and Tapsi were having that whole tax raid thing going on that time. So they were locked up in the hotel. I reached, and he called Vasan Bala to direct on that day for him. So my first day of shoot was actually with Vasan.
Okay.
And I'd already spoken to Vasan about doing Monica, My Darling, little later. So it was like this warm up between
Right.
Vasan and me. And when we came back to the hotel, he was like, Anurag said, I'm very happy you shot with Vasan. So happy. Itna sundar scene aaya hai. It's so nice. And his style, you don't even know where the camera is. Like I didn't know where the camera was in all the scenes that I did, except once. जब scene हो गया था फिर पता अच्छा यहाँ था camera. And it's like he gives you just enough ammo, and he knows that you have the bike. You just need a little ammo. He's not going to tell you how to ride the bike or navigate on the roads. He knows what you can do, and then he just says go fly. You don't even see him on set. यार मुझे तो I didn't know where he's sitting. Where's the monitor? Suddenly he will come and say one little thing in your ear, and
Is it because he's helping the actors in that way?
I guess he's just enjoying his process. He's having fun. He's like a child, giggling, very excited. I don't even know कि एक कप उठा के पी के रखने का अगर शॉट है उसमें क्या इतना मजेदार है, exciting that he's so happy. But there's something that is, you know, some wires that are connecting in his head, and every day he feels like probably that, you know, this excites me, and that excites everyone. There's no hierarchy in the whole production. I never felt that. Never felt like there's a landowner and there are like people working on wages under him. And you know, like for that scene, there's one scene that there was a like 7-page scene between Tapsi and me in the bookstore, and that's the scene which he wrote, which was not in the original film, the Spanish film Mirage. He said, this scene I want to mock my own film through this scene, through this character, mock the idea of the film that 2:12 पे कुछ होता है ये वो, like कुछ नहीं है, सब बकवास है. You have to make fun of that. I said okay, and that's true कि lines you get only on the day of the shoot and all that. और लंबा सीन था.
Wow.
2 दिन पहले जब मैं सेट पे मिला उनको तो बोले उस सीन में ये है, मैं ये सोच रहा हूँ ये है. मैंने कहा कौन सा सीन? बोलते तूने पढ़ा नहीं. मैंने कहा कहाँ पढ़ते हैं हम आपके सीन? तो बोलते इसको सीन दे पढ़. And anyway, so before the scene started, he came and मुझे बोला सुकांत इसमें उत्पल दत्त. I was like, okay, Utpal Dutt, okay, it doesn't mean I have to mimic him, but it means something, that energy of, so the first end was, चले जाओ, घर जाओ, तूफान आ रहा है, तूफान. So it started there and I got like, just got a kick. I knew कि कहाँ जाना है यहाँ से. And we had a huge time limit, but somehow we finished, and I had to rush to Bombay from Pune morning. I had to shoot at Gateway with somebody else. And 2 days later he messaged me, was just editing your scenes, so much fun.
Right.
He doesn't need to do that to me. He's Anurag Kashyap. There are like, everyone comes here and wants to work with Anurag Kashyap. I recognize that privilege. But he doesn't see it like that. He sees it as everyday work.
I think that's what makes them also so...
I suppose, but they're so different, Anurag from Debakar, very different from maybe Shakun to Vasan, very different people, yet they manage to make the films that they want to make, run the teams that they want to run the way they want. So there is no one way.
Right. So it's just one interesting, let's do one thing which is, I feel it will be interesting. So what I'll do is, so I'll give you just a couple of names of the directors, and then thinking you are these directors, just say one line about Sukant Goyal. What do you think?
No.
What? Let's try. I just want you to think that what is that they must be thinking about you. Just one line, and it's okay. We are actors. We can praise ourselves and everything. It's fine. Okay, let's give it a try.
Okay, shit, this is so narcissistic. Okay.
Okay, so well, Anurag Kashyap.
He thinks Sukant maza dila dega. Does that make any sense? He had mentioned the word ठहराव once. He had mentioned the word ठहराव once. कि ठहराव है.
Acting में?
हाँ. Acting.
Okay. So दिवाकर बैनर्जी, ये कोई और चली गई गेम वैसे, बट ठीक है, दिवाकर बैनर्जी.
That he can keep it inside and not show it on the face. That's something he used to say, that
okay.
Let it happen inside. So he thinks that maybe I can let things happen inside.
Right.
And not show everything on the face.
Nice. Shakun Batra.
Man, I did one little thing.
Still, just imagine.
Funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, he can be funny. Yeah, he had seen my Salman wala video, which I had done with Screen Patti once.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen it. Have you ever seen it?
I think I've seen some of your videos, but I don't remember the Salman
this
one.
went viral.
Okay.
This was, I played Salman Khan and Sanket Bhosle was playing Sanjay Dutt.
Oh shit, really?
We did this 7-minute thing with TVF Screen Patti when Sanjay Dutt was released from Yerwada. And Salman Khan was shooting for Sultan.
Okay.
It was a riot, and these people called me Shakun, Siddharth, Malhotra and Fawad. They were sitting together and they called me, and we had finished shooting for Kapoor and Sons, and they were just laughing on the phone like, dude, what the fuck is that, dude?
So you mimicked him?
Yeah, I played, I did something.
Okay.
People who've seen the video know what that means.
Okay.
But I don't know, man, I can't do that mimicry thing. I told them I don't mimic, I mean I'll do, but I don't mimic actors like on the go. So if you want me to do it, send me some material. So I took about 3-4 days. I shaved my head because of Sultan, and I studied some things like, and ultimately it's a sketch. You can't play Salman Khan. You still have to be funny about it. So how to, and Sanket Bhosle is so amazing,
Oh man, he's so funny.
Yeah, and that's the first time I'd seen what he does. So to keep the game up, I had to find some things to punch at.
I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't do it like this.
Yeah.
Like if you see it and then you would say ऐसा कर वो कर तो फिर मैं कर दूंगा.
Yeah.
But I don't know. There's a way he laughs which I figured.
So the last director, Vasan Bala.
He probably thinks that let Sukant lose, let him lose, let him do his thing.
सही है, मतलब 4 directors का spoken 4 things which make you a great actor, right?
Not at all. That is not equal to great actor at all.
Okay, but this was fun. I mean, like, it's interesting to think that what he or she might be thinking about you.
Yeah.
You know, like you always think, यार क्या सोच रहे होंगे अनुराग
Yeah,
कश्यप
it's
मेरे
funny
बारे में.
because जब Ghost Stories आई थी, they had this directors का round table with Karan Johar, Dibakar, Anurag and Zoya discussing the 4 films. Somehow there was nobody from outside, but Karan was hosting it, and they spoke a lot about me because those guys didn't know me. And Anurag said he's the best thing I've seen on stage in the last 3 years. Dibakar said I want him to be the next big thing. And Karan Johar said who is he, where is he from and all that. And then niche comments mein somebody sent me highlighted, don't you remember he was in your own film Kapoor and Sons. But he is so sharp, I must tell you. Kapoor and Sons का जब premiere हुआ था, जब show के लिए मैं गया, and I was looking very different. I was doing a play in which I was like very short hair, mooch like this and daadi. Nobody was recognizing me, not even the ADs, like not instantly. We saw the film. I was walking out to go home, and Karan was coming with some people, and she just passed me, stopped, turned back, and said, "Hey, you were great in the film," and walked off. And I was like, man. This guy who never came on set, never met me,
He noticed.
Yeah, just quickly. He's very, very sharp, you know. So that was a funny thing where they were talking about me. It was surreal because a lot of people were sending those clips to me. देख ये लोग तेरे बारे में क्या बोल रहे हैं, friend, and they were very excited. Like my friends WhatsApp group पे उन्होंने उसका नाम change कर दिया, next big thing. So वो अभी तक वही है, and I'm waiting to be that next big thing.
तो करना है, मतलब you want to be a star.
A star? I don't think I want to be a star. It's a very conflicting idea, yaar. What I wanted to be has evolved and changed in the last 15 years. I wanted to be a star. But now, not so much. Yeah, sure. Yeah. I do want to be a star also.
The background you've had, the theatre and everything. So if, for example, you get offers from Rohit Shetty, Karan Johar, Yash Raj and all of these things. Stardom is kind of a thing, you get kind of sucked into it and you have to kind of repeat the work you're doing. I don't mean it like the same work, but the kind of cinema you're working in. So do you think you'll be satisfied with that kind of...
No.
Even the advantages it gets you?
No, I've recently thought a lot. One of my favorite things to do is think. Spend hours and hours thinking. And like, what do I really want? Like, do I want to have every luxury that I want? If I was very rich and I had सब कुछ जो मुझे चाहिए, मुझे आज अगर स्कैंडिनेविया जाने का मन है तो मैं कल टिकट कटा लूँ और book the best place. That, or when I step out onto the road from an auto or something, or just a regular guy going to the airport and people turn their heads and see me, and some people want to come and talk about, I can see that they're affected by the work I've done, just affected by it. Not just to come and say, I want to click a photo with you. That would enrich me more, that pleases me more, I think, than being just extremely comfortable and people flashing photos or wanting a piece of you because you're aspirational to them for what you possess. Not for that. The aspirational should be for something else, something that you're able to do through your work that affects them, that touches them, that so
that even shows in your decision about the Africa and then cutting out all of that. And
yeah, I suppose, yeah, maybe, but it could have changed, like I said, it evolves. It could have changed, but I hope it hasn't, because that's the innocent flame I hope that drives me through the rest of my life also. Yeah, so star, yeah, if the definition of a star is that everyone loves you and everyone wants to see more of you, if that's how we're defining it, fine. But if it means that repeating the kind of work or the people you're working with or the names that you're working with and giving people exactly what they want from you again and again, then no, I don't want that.
Fair enough. So let's talk about Kala Pani now. Okay. First of all, phenomenal show. I mean, after very long, I remember something has really stood out for me at least as an audience. So thank you for the show. It was great.
On behalf of the whole team.
So, but anyway, just one more experience I want to share from our conversation. So I remember before we were trying to meet, and there were a lot of messages going up and down.
Yeah.
And I remember you sent me a voice note, and you were very tired. And you said that, whatever, sorry Anish, I couldn't message you, reply back. We are shooting in some remote location and I'm very disoriented and all of that. And it just sounded very a person who's just, kind of very tired. And then I connected, because that time you mentioned it's for a Netflix project I'm doing. And now when I saw it, I connected, okay, now I understand it.
Yeah.
So was it tiresome? And it looked very tiring.
It was tiring. Every day was tiring. But it was the beautiful tiring, It's you were tired.
Where was it shot?
Mostly in Andaman.
Okay.
I'd say 80 to 85% was shot there. And most of my stuff is in the jungle or the sea and stuff.
Yeah.
So most of my stuff was there. What excited me, that was the question, right?
Yeah.
Is that first I was approached to audition for Ketan's character, which is the police guy, played by Amey.
Yeah.
Amey Wagh. This is an interesting scene. It was a scene between him and the Dr. Saudamini in the car where he's, he wants her to do something, she doesn't want to do that, and there's this power dynamic. And I thought that's very interesting, and it's written very nicely. And I did it, and we did the audition in the car. Anti-casting, they were very cool. They said कि कैसे करें वगैरह. मैं गाड़ी लाया हूँ अपनी. बोलते गाड़ी में करें. मैंने कहा हाँ श्योर. थिएटर नहीं है यार, चलो रियल प्लेस में. गाड़ी में किया, मज़ा आया. It seemed like they were interested in me to do that part. But then they said कि चिरू के लिए भी ऑडिशन कर दो. They wanted to test for that. वो उन्होंने बताया कैरेक्टर ऐसे ऐसे, and I read the scene. It was the scene where he's digging, trying to find the eggs, with Pundi sitting there, and he's like मेरा बाप भी पागल है, मेरी माँ और भाई भी पागल है, सब दुनिया पागल है, ये टूरिस्ट भी पागल है, अंडे कहाँ है, ये क्या है, ये सब कौन है ये बंदा, सबको गाली दे रहा है, अंडा चाहिए, कहाँ फंसे हुए हैं एक टूरिस्ट. दिस इज इंटरेस्टिंग. मतलब ये गुच्छे कहीं ना कहीं खुलेंगे, इतने सारे जो इस सीन में दिख रहे हैं. And it always attracts me, these characters which are not obviously likable, but that's the fun, to try and still make them connect to a viewer, saying मैं इसके जैसा नहीं हूँ लेकिन कुछ तो मैं समझ रहा हूँ इसके बारे में, मैं इसको इतनी इजीली जज नहीं कर पा रहा हूँ. अगर अच्छा लिखा गया है तो तभी होगा, वो लिखा अच्छा नहीं है तो कुछ नहीं होगा. तो I was like हाँ ठीक है. But then I had doubts. I said, this is a character who's Tamil. Why are you casting me? I asked. In fact, I asked very adamantly, are you going to give me, like, you're not going to do all that, na? Color me dark and all that. And why me? Why can't you just take an actor, a Tamil actor who speaks? So, but they were like, no, you. I said, okay, this is a challenge. Okay,
No.
Okay, let's do it. और कुछ है भी नहीं काम, और इतने टाइम में all through COVID, lots of scripts came, lots of auditions came. I did some, but this seemed to me like ये करना है. And I was like, call me as many times as you want, but I wanted to do this.
Right.
And there was one audition which Biswapati Sarkar, Amit Golani, both of them came, and we auditioned together over there. So that was great, because the final people are there to instruct you also. That is not to say that the casting director didn't instruct well. Also, you see that is this actor able to take direction? Because ultimately वही होगा ना वहाँ पे. ऐसा बहुत होता है कि आप एक्टर को भेज दिया कास्ट करके वगैरह, and then that person is not able to take direction. So the whole point is lost. So that was a great thing. Probably they understood that हाँ मैं बात समझ सकता हूँ, कर सकता हूँ, या मैं सरेंडर कर सकता हूँ एक्सेट्रा। एंड मुझे भी लगा कि शायद वो जिस तरह से वो कम्युनिकेट कर रहे हैं मैं समझ पा रहा हूँ। सो या दैट्स व्हाई आई डिसाइडेड टू डू इट।
नाइस।
एंड पैसे भी चाहिए थे। नहीं।
ओके, सो अब एक छोटा सा सेगमेंट है एंड दिस इज़ न्यू फॉर मी ऑल्सो, वी हैव नॉट डन दिस बिफोर। सो मोटिव क्या था इस पॉडकास्ट से व्हेन वी काइंड ऑफ स्टार्टेड इट, दैट यू नो ऑल द यंग एंड एस्पायरिंग पीपल हु आर यू नो वांट टू काइंड ऑफ मेक इट बिग इन द इंडस्ट्री और बी जस्ट अ वर्किंग एक्टर, दे काइंड ऑफ लर्न something from the people and it just becomes like a hub where we kind of make them aware what to do, what not to do. We can just give them guidance, obviously. Rest is their decision. So this segment is prove me wrong. Okay. So I'm this actor who is extremely passionate about acting. Okay, and I want to work in the film industry. And maybe Sukan Goyal when he moved to Bombay, and even before that. And but the practicalities of the life here, you have to survive, and anyway we'll talk about that. So you have to prove me wrong that how probably these distractions what I have might not work well for me in terms of my craft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I might look for practical solutions. You might tell me that why is it not good कि तू थोड़ा distract हो जाएगा, in short. Like a small 1 minute thing, we'll just give it a try if it happens. Because
Sure.
you know what, even like today's generation, in fact, they are very confused, I feel. And even I have a lot of thoughts, यार ये कर लेता हूँ, इससे ना चल जाता है. You listen about different stories, right? Someone making this, oh, this a podcast कोई कर रहा है, तो यार podcast अच्छा तरीका है. You know, like it just distracts you. So let's give it a try. Maybe something comes out of it.
Okay, okay. Just one word of caution is that I have slowly in life started to give as less advice or don't do and do this because I've kind of figured it out that that's what I think at this moment that we only know this much from this much,
Right.
and that person is coming from there this much.
तो फिर मैं आपकी स्टोरी पे बोलता हूँ बस.
तो ठीक है, let's go with it, let's see.
चलो, let's see. Okay.
I love talking to young actors and people
Yeah.
and communicating with them. That's one of my, I find it very passionate to do that. So okay, maybe let's go with that spirit.
Okay. So ठीक है भाई. So I have come to Bombay. अब मैं शिफ्ट कर लिया है, प्लान करने का सोच लिया है और मेरे को ना एक जॉब मिल गई है. It's paying me well, 50-60,000 a month. मैं तो सॉर्टेड हूँ. शाम को आई थिंक आई गेट फ्री एट 6 और उसके बाद मैं सोच रहा हूँ थिएटर कर लूँ. तो मेरा जो पैशन है वो भी चलता रहेगा, मेरा वो भी चलेगा. तो सही है ना, आई एम इन अ ग्रेट पोजीशन आई थिंक.
Just one word of caution, while you have sorted your money out, which is good, is great, nothing wrong with that. Just be careful that you said मैं शाम को थिएटर करूँगा. वो ज़माना थोड़ा सा चेंज हो गया है मुझे लगता है. एक टाइम था जब सब लोग नौकरी करते थे और फिर कई सारे ग्रुप्स थे जो एमेच्योर थिएटर प्रैक्टिस करते थे. तो a good number of people would turn up after 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. and that was the way of working. But now somehow people have moved away from that, so theatre groups are working all day and they somehow want you to be available at different times and not just in the evening. So it's becoming difficult for people with that idea of doing amateur theatre कि शाम को.
तो अगर मैं थिएटर पूरे दिन करूँगा तो मतलब रेंट वगैरह घर कैसे?
हाँ, मुश्किल काम है. वो कुछ ना कुछ मैं नहीं कह रहा कि वो नहीं हो सकता जो आप कर रहे हो, वो भी हो सकता है. You might find somebody, in fact you might if you go for a workshop for a play and they say yeah we want you but we want it at this time or that time, you can say that मैं शाम को ही आ सकता हूँ. Is it possible?
मतलब बट अगर मुश्किल काम है, आई वांट टू गिव माय बेस्ट बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट आई वांट टू डू, एक्टिंग और कुछ नहीं है लाइफ में. अगर मतलब मुश्किल काम है तो फिर मतलब जो सारे लोग थिएटर कर रहे हैं पूरे दिन वो तो गलत ही कर रहे हैं ना.
किसी ना किसी को घुमाना पड़ता है. एक्टर जब शुरू में आप कहीं कुछ घुसना चाह रहे हो, कोई माँ बाप को चाबी देता है, कोई दोस्त को, कोई बॉस को कि मैं इस दिन एब्सेंट रहूँगा, कोई डायरेक्टर को. कहीं ना कहीं ये चाबियां दे के मैनिपुलेशन करके यू हैव टू फाइंड सम वे ऑफ बीइंग देयर in that space of acting or observing or reading or listening or whatever it is. So somehow, I don't know, I don't have the perfect advice for you how to do that. If doing this job is imperative, then that's what it is. Fine, no problem.
नहीं, मुझे कुछ इमोशनल अटैचमेंट नहीं है इस जॉब से. इट्स जस्ट आई वांट टू कम टू बॉम्बे एंड एक्ट.
Okay, so be it then. Then you'll find a way. You'll find a way.
बट अगर मेरे को अपना दिखना भी है लोगों के सामने, सो आई एम थिंकिंग ऑन दिस साइड, आई स्टार्ट मेकिंग रील्स. यू नो, इट्स काइंड ऑफ ट्रेंडिंग दीज डेज एंड आई विल बिकम वेरी होपफुली विजिबल एंड स्टफ, एंड थिएटर भी चलता रहेगा साथ में. तो आई थिंक रील्स इज अ गुड वे टू काइंड ऑफ एंगेज इन टुडेज वर्ल्ड.
Maybe. I'm not very comfortable with that idea because for me personally, मैं नहीं करता हूँ कुछ reels वगैरह.
नहीं, but why?
But why not? Why not? Sure, do it. I'm saying there's only one way to find out how cold the water is. Step into it. There is no.
And that
other
might
way.
also help my craft, right?
It might. I would not reject anything outright, because there is no one person in this whole field who will tell you exactly what steps to take and reach where they have reached. I will argue that till death. If somebody tells a young actor, ये करो फिर ये करो फिर ये करो ये करो, वो तो डेफिनेटली मत करो, ये मत करो तो ये हो जाएगा, बिल्कुल नहीं.
But आप ही तो एग्जाम्पल हो ना मेरे. you have worked it out for yourself.
I'm one of a million examples. Everyone who comes and sits on this chair with you will have different things to say to you. There is no one thing that you should trust completely. Don't trust me.
But tell me about your experience. I want to know your experience. अब आपने बोला आपने तो ये सब नहीं किया, but you're advising me to do all of this.
I'm not advising. I'm saying if you feel like this is what you should do it. Go into it completely. Do it till you're saying like यार ये तो बेकार है, इसमें कुछ मजा नहीं आ रहा. तब तक करो, जब तक वो चीज़ तुम्हें लात मार के ना निकाल दे. जब तक वो संतरा खुद ना बता दे कि अब जूस खत्म हो गया है दोस्त, अब छोड़ दे मुझे. निकालो वो जूस उसमें से. कुछ मिला तो मिला, नहीं कुछ ना कुछ तो मिल ही जाता है यार कहीं ना कहीं से.
अच्छा.
अगर सिर्फ तुम आज बोलते हो कि मैं उबर चलाना चाहता हूँ 5 महीने, आई वांट टू बी एन उबर ड्राइवर 5 months, इज दैट गोइंग टू हेल्प माई एक्टिंग? या श्योर, या डू इट. इट विल हेल्प. एनीथिंग कैन हेल्प इन एक्टिंग.
So anything and everything you're saying.
Anything and
So,
everything.
I don't want to do TV.
Yeah.
I'm very strict against that because it doesn't satisfy my creative, satisfaction. तो
Don't do it.
but वो डायरेक्ट कास्टिंग के साथ मेरा रिलेशन नहीं खराब करेगा?
नहीं, बहुत कहाँ रिलेशन कुछ बहुत, वो कास्टिंग वाले को 1000 लोग की पड़ी है दिन में यार, नहीं याद रहता.
But I'm scared that they might not just approach me for a non-TV role tomorrow. Then
Okay, it's okay. Be scared. It's okay to be scared. Be scared. Don't tell yourself that I'm not scared. I should not be scared. I'm stronger than this. No, I'm scared. I'm scared as shit. Okay, ठीक है, मुझे बहुत डर लग रहा है, लेकिन मुझे टीवी नहीं करना यार, नहीं करना. ठीक है, मत करो.
नहीं, मुझे ना पता क्या लगता है कि मेरे को बनना है. Honestly, I want to be a star. Okay, very frankly. And मुझे लग रहा है टीवी वगैरह ये सब थोड़ा ना मेरे को स्टीरियोटाइप कर देगा. So I'm thinking about my image in future.
Okay.
और I don't know if and tell me, मतलब वो जो 2 घंटा शाम को थिएटर करके ना, मतलब उतनी एक्टिंग काफ़ी है स्टार बनने के लिए. मतलब मुझे इतना नहीं है कि भाई आई एम एन इंटेंस एक्टर, वो सब नहीं है. स्टार बनना है बस. सो आई थिंक आई एम ऑन द राइट ट्रैक देन, राइट?
मे बी, बट ऑल्सो आई थिंक कि अब जो स्टार्स जो हमको पसंद आ रहे हैं, सब ने अपनी एक्टिंग का गेम अप किया हुआ है. मोस्ट ऑफ देम आर नाउ गुड एक्टर्स ऑल्सो, एंड दे आर कॉन्स्टेंटली ट्राइंग टू इम्प्रूव. दैट डे इज़ गॉन व्हेन स्क्रिप्ट आपको सबको वहीं पे सेट पे बन रही होती थी, तो यू जस्ट हैव टू लुक गुड एंड से समथिंग. Now people are talking about how good Katrina Kaif is in Merry Christmas. So there is no harm to have more ammo in you, whether it's acting or dancing or whatever it is. There's no harm in having that ammo. So yeah, sure, you may reject certain ideas, but then if it's coming back to you in life at some point in time, then take it at that time. Don't judge yourself कि I had to rejected this. अब मैं वापस से अब थिएटर क्यों करने लगूँ? अभी आ रही है अगर
बाद में रिग्रेट ना हो कि यार पहले I should have polished myself more.
Regret is a choice.
Okay.
I don't think regret is our defense to tell ourselves that now I am better. But you're not better. You're never better.
Okay, so let's close this segment here. I think it was great to have a perspective, you know, like
Yeah.
talking. I mean, did you feel so? Like these are the confusions
Yeah,
of
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And what I also felt was, what the hell am I saying? I should not be talking to people who have these confusions. Because मैं बहुत, trust me, मैं बहुत कोशिश करता कि मैं कुछ positive बोलूं, where you have a certain direction कि हाँ, do this. Because there is this concept that in of course in psychology, that a mind that is extremely confused, when something from outside gives you a very sure direction to go in, that confused mind goes there. And religion has done this for years now. And certain religions more, they have very solid doctrines. You have a problem, okay, यहाँ पे जूते निकालो, यहाँ पे हाथ धो, इस समय उठ के ये कर लो, वो कर लो. So a mind feels secure that ये करूँगा तो there is a consequence which is going to be good. But that is not so. We have seen it fail. So I don't know how to lead somebody. I can do my own thing, and if somebody feels like that is leading me somewhere, then sure, they can follow for some time.
Correct.
And then go off. But there is no one who can lead you. There is no one who can guide you. I don't think personally in my life now that anybody can guide me.
Yeah.
Or anybody can teach me. I can learn, but nobody can teach me.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not looking for teachers anymore.
So last question from my side. So what is the milestone for your life now? Like where do you want to reach? What do you want to do eventually? How do you want to remember yourself?
I don't want to remember myself. That's the last thing. But where I want to reach, I'm sure there is a lot of things जो रोज़ आपको लगता है यार ये करना है, वो करना है, उसके साथ काम करना है, कांस में जाना है और वेनिस में जाना है और ये कोई इरफान को उस डायरेक्टर ने बुलाया था और वहाँ काम करना है. Sure, all these wants and desires keep coming, but the joy only comes from the work and nothing else. I just shot for an independent feature film directed by this guy called Shishir Jha. First time I did something like this where there's no script. 10-11 people on the crew. His DOP came from Mexico. They had met in Cuba for a Kiarostami workshop. It's the kind of cinema that attracts me. And just to surrender to this completely new process and forget everything that I have learned for 13-14 years. Not come with that baggage. Try to at least. You can't always do that. And work in an atmosphere of so much passion. Like life में सब meaningless है. ये passion का भी कोई मतलब नहीं है. But I need to trick myself for some time that I'm doing something meaningful. So I see. I would love to have more and more experiences like this. I would love a scenario where everyone wants to work with me. They don't think that oh नहीं comedy कर रहे हैं so Sukant, not Sukant, yeah, stylish film कर रहे हैं so not him, whatever. I want everyone to
keep doing
me.
challenging work.
Yeah, to say this is the guy who can communicate my idea at this point in the script, so I want to hire this guy. That will be a wonderful situation for me.
Okay.
And yeah, a life lived, just anything, all sorts of experiences, not just acting. I want to see all the mountains of the world. I want to
all the mines of the world.
no more mining, yaar. But yeah, I don't know where else. You'll notice that family doesn't come into a lot of my answers. I'm noticing. I'm selfish, very selfish.
Actors have to be.
I don't know.
आप बहुत safe play कर रहे हो वैसे.
Safe
You know a lot of answers.
No, it's not safe. It's my state of mind right now where I don't seem to have anything definite to say about anything. Everything seems to have a duality. Everything seems to have another side. what I'm actually thinking and the words that are coming out, the moment they come out, I feel like नहीं ये तो मैं नहीं कहना चाह रहा हूँ, लेकिन फिर words ये क्यों निकल रहे हैं? इसलिए it's very comforting when somebody has written the script. That's why this was so uncomfortable. Opinion. Yeah, this film to shoot without dialogues written was so uncomfortable because what's coming out of you is what's coming out of your thought, and it doesn't seem to match. So what does that person want? Why is he saying okay to this take? It's this. I don't know if I've answered your question, but
no, but it makes sense.
Yeah, I want to live more and more in the present. That's the aim. It's not possible,
Lovely.
But I want to.
Well, on this note, I would like to end it. And first of all, thank you so much for coming.
Thank you. Anish.
And a lot of great insights, some good mimicry, and
terrible mimicry. Yeah.
And let's fix it after you're doing Anurag Kashyap's film, which is going to release as a 3-part series. You'll come here in purple hair or burgundy hair, and we'll do a podcast together.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna do some crazy stuff.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anish. Thank you. It's a pleasure. Yeah. Thank you. Hi guys. I just want to say that it was wonderful to be here, talk to Anish, work with the team. It never felt like I'm being interviewed and I have to give some kind of answers. It was talking. Also, it helped that we have exchanged messages in the past, but it seemed like मैं Anish से मिला हूँ बहुत बार और हम लोग 2 लोग बात कर रहे हैं and if it communicates something to the viewer about my journey or a type of journey in this field, then I guess that's good enough. And there are so many that they have already done. So you are seeing about 14-15 journeys already, and I hope they do a lot more of this. Different kind of people come because the film is made by many people and not just actors. Actors are a very small part of it. So that's a great thing that they're doing. Milestone 101. Subscribe to that. Remember, it's one more than 100.